Right now, Nia is heading back towards the palace. The book's safely in her bag, so it's safe from the snow.
Alright. You make it back to the palace, no problem. I'm just going to move the party location marker to the map layer for now. Actually, no, I'm going to move it to the GM layer because it's not active at the moment. Be it because of that. Alright, so, make it into the palace just fine. Where are you going once you're there?
Well, first I'm gonna find a garden. Is Mika Soulwind up and about yet?
He kind of nods at you and says, I think so, yes. She should be down in the stables at the moment. I saw her heading in that direction.
Thank you. I'll head right there now.
Good day.
Off to the stables.
Right. You ask around a little bit to figure out where the stables are, and it doesn't take you long. They're kind of on the southern end of the palace. And it's, interestingly enough, it's kind of a halfway underground environment, the stables. Like, you go down a flight of stairs to get there, and when you arrive, you see that, like, it's not completely underground, but it is lower. There's a wall, the ceiling's about 10 feet high, and the walls go up about 7 feet before you can see, like, open air beyond them. The only thing separating that and where you are now are some windows reinforced with crisscrossing wooden support beams to make a kind of repeating X pattern. It definitely smells like a stable in here. And you see that there are a bunch of, regular yellow chocobos kind of in their stalls, chowing down on grass and greens, drinking from water troughs, or just napping. But further along near the back, you see a certain black chocobo with cybernetic parts sticking out of her, lying unconscious in one of the pens, with Mika and another person standing, crouching next to her. Mika's hands are lifted.
Recognize the other person?
You do not. It's a human.
Oh.
Mika's,
What are they currently doing?
Mika's hands are on Rocket's body, and there's, and you recognize a cure spell flowing from her fingertips. And the human is running a brush over Rocket's back and feathers, essentially preening her for her because she can't at the moment. Just some gentle grooming, essentially.
I'm gonna wait for Mika to finish the cure spell first. I don't want to interrupt that.
Alright. Well, couple moments pass before she, the spell stops flowing from her fingertips and she stands up. I don't think there's anything else I can do. She doesn't have any other injuries. The human looks over at her. Don't beat yourself up over it. You're doing fine. Just need some time to rest, that's all.
She can ask for a better caregiver.
Mika jumps in surprise, spins around. Oh, Neothil, I wasn't expecting you. Here to check on Rocket?
I was actually looking for you, but I look towards Rocket. How is she?
She'll live. She's still out, though. Come over here.
Mika kind of walks around to the other side of Rocket and kneels down next to her head.
I follow as directed.
When you get there, Mika sort of gestures at the head case on the right side of Rocket's head, and looking at it, you see that her cybernetic eye has gone dark. Usually it's lit up with this bright red, but right now it's dark. It's out. It's just this black, glassy sphere embedded in the side of her skull.
Is that just because she's unconscious, or...?
I don't know. I was hoping you would.
I know very little about Magitech. We were hoping at one point to find someone who did. There are already some systems that do not work. She's meant to have rocket boosters for one.
The human nods. Yeah, I saw those. hidden under her wings. I don't know jack shit about Magitech. I'm just a stable keeper. Runs the brush over Rocket's back again. But I gotta admit, aside from the Magitech, this is a beautiful bird.
I'm sure she would be flattered to hear you say that.
Well, you don't have to worry about her. I'll take good care of her.
Thank you. She got us out of there. Going on foot wouldn't have been an option. There were too many archers. Anyway, Mika, can I talk to you alone?
Her cat-like ears perk up for a second. She glances up at you.
Sure. You got things here?
Yeah, I'm fine. You go ahead. She nods, stands up, and follows you to wherever you lead her.
Ask her, where would be a good place to talk in private? I'm as familiar with the palace as you are.
Could probably just, use the hall right above here.
At work?
Right.
Head up.
All right. Make it up there soon enough and easily enough. When you arrive, she kind of looks at you curiously, clasping her hands behind her back.
So, what's the deal?
I just wanted to thank you again for everything you did. What happened yesterday? I can't really express anything. My sisters and I, we've never failed like that. I've never failed like that. I would have died, but you... Well, I wanted to get something to... I felt like I owed you. I slip off the bag and fish out the book. Here, I thought you might enjoy this.
Her eyes kind of widen a bit at the side of the book, and she gently takes it in her fingers.
You bought me a book?
Me blush as well. I thought you might enjoy the read.
He looks it over for a second, flips it open, kind of studies the pages for a second before a pleased smile lights up her face, and she gives a nod.
I do like it, yes. Thank you, but I don't really think you should be giving me your thanks. Like I said, Tam's the one who did most of the work. I just did some touch-ups.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. You're amazing, Mika. Don't ever think otherwise.
I'm just an apprentice.
Well, I'm the youngest in my family. The junior, the private.
I'm the only one in
And
my
yet-
family.
And yet here we are. You're saving so-called heroes. And I'm the hero getting her butt kicked.
Well, I'm sure it won't happen again.
So, you never told me. Do you come from Marasu, or...?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. My parents live in the hanging homes.
Oh?
Kind of clasps the book next to her spell book at her side.
They're great. Not the wealthiest in the world. Took them years saving up their life savings just to try and book me passage to Animo, but... Oh, that turned out not to be necessary when Tam stumbled on me.
I'm sure they're very proud of all you're doing.
I sure hope so. I don't get to talk to them as often as I probably should.
I'm missing mine. I always used to see them every day, practically, even after leaving home, joining the Rangers. Being out here, it's different. Sometimes I regret leaving.
You're from Vitea, right?
Yeah, a very, very long way away from here.
No kidding. Practically the other side of the world.
Well, it makes it somewhat more worth it to meet people like you.
Her cheeks kind of redden a bit.
Oh, come on. Don't say things like that.
Just kind of coughs into her fist.
Her, like, knees blushing a bit, her foot scuffing again. I didn't mean... Sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
Mika doesn't say anything, her tail just kind of swishing behind her a bit.
I was just wondering, though, if you're not busy, would you like to hang out for a little while as friends? Maybe?
You know it's not as friends when you have to specify as friends.
Yes, but
I ship
he's
it.
not used to this.
Oh my.
Who was that?
somewhere on the stage, Luska is clapping her hands.
Bravo, little suitor.
She said the stones.
Mika just kind of shrugged her shoulders.
Maybe? I mean, I do still have work I have to do here at the palace. Working on the plague sample, healing wounded guards as they come in.
That's fine. I can help you, maybe, before you get some free time. I mean, it's not like we're going out to save the world today. So...
No, I guess not. Sure, why not? Sure.
Kind of this really awkward smile.
Something that needs somewhat sharing, though that's a slight bright hopefulness to it.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to roll something here.
Roll something.
Oh.
Oh dear.
What is that?
After a moment, Mika's eyes sort of shift to her side, and she looks over to the side, and the red on her face suddenly goes from being a subtle pink to she's turned into a tomato.
Oh.
Blushing.
Yeah, she's looking at something down the hall.
You okay?
just kind of squeaks.
You broke her! What have you done?
I don't think it's her. Like, she said she was looking at something. What's she looking?
Oh dear.
Can I see what she's looking at?
You look over, and you see, looking like he was in the middle of a patrol, just a guard standing in the middle of the hallway looking at you two with this an amused smirk on his face.
Immediately, Neve's face goes just as red, and a small little comes from her lips.
The guard just kind of, his smirk grows, and he says, "I didn't see anything." And he turns around and walks the other way.
Stand straight! Be gone, guard! This is a personal moment.
And thus the rumor of the ship started.
And that is how shipping was born. Yeah.
Little girl, and that's how I met your mother.
Oh.
Oh God.
Oh my.
Anyways,
after
after a few seconds, Mika kind of takes the book you bought her, smacks herself in the face with it, puts it back on her belt, straightens out her neck a bit. Let's go. And just kind of stiffly walks off.
Let's go.
Just kind of stiffly walks off down the hall with you following close in tow.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy transcripting this.
Damn it, I just got that thing in my head again now.
It was all I hoped.
Oh, that's fine.
That was so fucking awkward. That was so fucking awkward.
And adorable.
Yeah.
This did it. Today's episode requires a bit of doom and gloom, comedy, and awkward.
Adorkward. There you go.
Adorkward.
It's,
God damn it,
it's
Tom, you and
adorable.
your words.
It's
Because we
adorkable
are
and
British.
awkward. Adorkward.
Bec-
Hey.
Adorkward.
Because we are British. Doesn't
Alright.
mean you have to overtop the words.
All right, so, okay, so at this point, we'll cut back over to Thanatos and Alistair.
Okay.
You two kind of
Going to the inn.
you're more or less at the same place in the streets. At this point, Thanatos kind of emerges out into the two squares shortly after Alistair has left the Sharp Claws, so you cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alistair.
Oh, hey, Thanatos. Sorry. Still in fort.
So how'd the sharp claws go?
It's okay. I mean, he's willing to slightly lower down the price for us. But I think it's best that we actually have the guild before requesting him to fix it up.
That's fine. I
Somehow.
may be able to help with that in a bit. I wanted to go talk to him anyway.
Very well.
All right.
By the way, Thanatos, I have got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a good paladin?
Do I think you're a good paladin?
I mean, yeah, I have healed you up now and then, but let's just say I'm not always full of success. I have suffered terrible failures in my life, and this has got to be the second worst. Or maybe third if I count Knee finding her on the floor. Now, first attack against, or second? Yeah, I say second attack from the cultists. I mean, you had a master, you said, right?
Oh yeah. Trust me. Trust me. That little skirmish we had was only maybe like the 5th worst situation I've been in.
And your master, were you like friends? Like,
You
do you
could
share
say
a bond?
you could say that. He was harsh, cold at times, but he took me in when no one else would. He taught me how to fight. I wouldn't be the guy I'm standing before you without him.
Almost sounds like my own master, except less of the cold attitude and more of a wise and happy attitude, I would say.
But to answer your question, Alistair, yes, you are a good paladin.
Thanks. Anyway, if you want to speak to the blacksmith, I suppose we could head there.
Yeah. Let's see what we
Something
can...
tells me he's going to be very happy to see me again. I just hope I don't disappoint him with no more cookies.
Cookies. Never would have pegged a blacksmith to have a sweet tooth.
Oh, damn it. Please don't tell him I told you. He doesn't like other people knowing about that.
My lips are sealed.
Thank you.
Start walking back to the sharp claws then.
All right.
Stretching Skajarama noises.
Yep, sorry. Walk back into the Sharp Claws a couple minutes later, and you see that the blacksmith is still hanging out from the rafters, nibbling on his cookie and sandwich.
How's it hanging?
Oh! Kind of jumps a bit, like a and lands back on the floor. So graceful landing, mind you. His launch wasn't graceful at all. His landing was fantastic, though. And he looks and he was like, "What the hell's the big idea? Startling me half to death like that? What's wrong with you?"
Well, people would say many things, but I do apologize.
Nods at Alistair. So, you're back and you brought a friend. It's the occasion.
I was hoping to ask about some new armor.
You too?
Yeah, we got roughed up pretty bad, and we
So I heard and saw. Oh, what exactly are you looking for?
was hoping for something that has a little more magic resistance.
Well, generally speaking, armor... The more metal, the heavier the armor is, generally speaking, the more it's going to conduct magic. Other materials are better at resisting it or letting you get out of the way of it. Avoiding the worst of it. It's kind of a weird thing. I never fully understood the science behind it. All I know for sure is that you're more likely to survive being blasted with a fireball if you're wearing a cotton robe than if you're wearing iron plate. Something to do with, like, conducting, kind of like with conducting electricity, for example. Something like that, like, magic just interacts more with metals and minerals than it does with fabrics and cloths.
Alright,
So,
that makes sense.
I could get you something lighter than what you currently have for more magic resistance, but you'd be more prone to taking damage if you get whacked with a sword, for example. It's a trade-off.
Yeah. Well, I'll just have to tough through it.
All right, I've got plenty here. I can get you a basic suit of armor for 100 gil, or I can get you something a bit more substantial and with some unique properties, winks, for 450. If you really want something top of the line, I can go all the way up to a 1500 gil set, but that's my cap right now.
Let's say, yeah, I think we'll just go with the first upgrade. Also, bit of a stretch here, but I do have a little something here that I was hoping maybe could cut down a little bit of that price.
His eyes immediately shoot over to Alistair. What did you do?
Don't look at me. He said he wanted to come here. It's the only reason why I'm back here.
No, sir. I assure you, I know nothing of anything.
He seems exceptionally skeptical.
I do have this. I found it during our little scuffle with the cultists. I pull out the ruby that I had picked up a while ago.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Yeah, that's a thing you found.
I know. I saw it in my character sheet. It was like, yeah, you know, we could probably cut the price on our armor with that.
He looks his eyes like, oh. Huh. Would you look at that? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I can sell that for about as much as one of those 450 gil sets. So I can give you a pretty hefty discount on some armor. Like, shave off 300 gil.
That sounds fair. So, what would you say an upgrade for me and our ranger friend? A heavy set for me.
And I may
well, the discount will only apply to one suit because the ruby will only cover one suit.
That I understand. Okay, so all right, out of character. So the ruby will cover my set, and then we still have to pay for knees.
Yeah, your set will only cost 150. The sets for Knee and Alistair will cost 450 a pop, or 350, excuse me.
Yeah, 350.
Because he's giving that minus 100 discount for the cookies.
I mean,
which I was gonna say, do you want your armor to get lowered down? I managed to lower me and Knee armor down by 100 each.
Like I said, I can cover mine, and then you can. And honestly, you and Rocket got upgrades earlier, so we only really need one for Knee at this point.
Yeah,
well, I got a shield, which does a bit, but not much. That's.
Oh, did you not get tier 2 armor?
No, I've only got the shield. I spent my money. I spent most of the gil on Rocket's armor.
Okay, yeah, Rocket.
It wasn't cheap. I'm a madman.
All right, so still out of character. So mine will only cost about 150,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got yours down to 350 each for yours and knees.
I have
That's-
200 if you need reimbursement.
So he has
Hmm.
knee has 200. I have darn it, where did that go?
Though he did say it would be worth
I have about 300.
150, 100
380.
set. So
How much do you have?
I only have 93 left.
Yeah. So,
So pretty
I
much
have-
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
went to collect mine, we'd have enough for Thanatos and one of
And
us.
rockets.
I mean,
but
like
if
the-
not.
Rocket has
We
good
get-
armor currently.
honestly, with your shield, that should be decent. Because knee's the one that really needs an armor.
Hmm.
Me and knee need the decent upgrade at this point.
So you're gonna either have to one of you come and get the money off me, or ask him to put it on a tab and then send it to him later.
We can.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah, sure. You want to send someone to go get knee?
Hmm.
Or at least give them the money because I think he's distracted.
All right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. Let's say our friend should have the rest of your money. Alice here, why don't you go and fetch knee, and then we can get this sorted out.
Definitely.
All right. So Alistair kind of heads off to the palace, and while he's leaving to do that, out of character, Thanatos, you're getting a suit of tier 2 heavy armor for yourself.
That is the plan.
I want you to go ahead and pull up the rule book
Okay.
and go to page 128 and look at the properties list. Because we need to figure out what property you want for your armor. Once we have that decided, we'll count that as Alistair's travel time and we'll cut over to him.
All right, let's see here. Properties, okay.
Remember, your cap right now is tier 2, and it has to be tier 2 that can be applied to armor. So ask me about a property, and I'll explain it to you.
All right, let's see here. So for tier 2,
Tier 1 or tier 2. You only get one property, and it can be from either of those tiers.
Let's see here. And does it matter between classes?
No.
Okay. Let's see here.
One of the things I was going to ask that how much armor we each have. I mean, my armor plus the shield, that would be 8 in total, I guess.
And that's currently better than what I have. And
Yep. What
does
about
he have
you,
medium
Tom?
armor or
Pretty sure
heavy?
Alistair-
I have medium.
I say his is medium, knees is light, and
Oh,
rocket
yeah.
and mine are heavy, right?
Hmm.
I think Neothil's medium, actually.
Huh.
Oh.
I would figure a ranger would be light.
I mean, they can use light
let's
and medium. Tom, you mind confirming?
It's not. I can't see if it was marked down. It's just armor flight suit. Armor being
Well,
4
is
normal,
it- is it-
4 magic resistance.
If it's
properties.
if the
So it's
if
a
the-
medium.
yeah, it's medium.
Tone,
Yes.
MP restore. How does that work?
MP restore. Give me a second to find it. MP restore. This does not apply to armor. It would go to food or consumable items. When consumed, this item immediately restores a flat percentage value of magic points. Tier 1 consumables and food restore 25%, Tier 3 restores 50, Tier 5 75, and Tier 7 restores 100.
That would be handy for your fireball.
Yeah, but here's the thing, it doesn't apply to armor, so we can't use it with armor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so that's
out.
out.
Oh,
Okay,
it is
so
for there.
okay, so the ones for armor would be like attribute, bonus, auto. Let's see.
Gemini's a good one.
Gemini. All right, what's it do?
Gemini. The equipment is highly irregular, either a combination of standard weapon types or able to change its shape or form for multiple different purposes. For example, it might be a spiked shield that both provides defense as well as being usable as a blade weapon, or it might be a powerful magic rod which the wielder can swing to release a half-dozen wires with hooked tips which latch on enemies like a fishing rod. It might be a large cannon that can fire ranged bullets, capable of knocking its opponents backwards, or it might be a spear that can break into several lesser weapons. A Gemini weapon is generally two different types of weapons and gets the automatic weapon properties of both. For example, a gunblade might serve as both a piercing weapon, as well as have the ability to fire rounds of ammunition or explosive bursts of pressurized air at range, making it also a ranged weapon. If a character is proficient with one of the types of weapons the Gemini equipment is treated as, he may use the Gemini weapon normally. For example, a black mage could use an arcane huge weapon and suffer no penalties, even though huge equipment isn't something they're proficient with normally.
Okay.
So to translate that into what you've been bugging me about, you could use this to cast spells as a standard action.
So I could enchant this with my... So my armor will be enchanted to where I can...
Oh, wait, hold on, no. I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about weapons. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Yeah, okay, that
Gemini can be used in armor.
It can be used in armor, but it wouldn't actually give the arcane thing. Yeah, my mistake. Sorry. It can be used in armor, but it won't work there, so... My mistake.
Okay. Shit. Okay, let's see here. Still just... Damn it.
I hope we could also find a way to get enough gil for Knee. She definitely needs armor.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Something.
look through these. I wish I would have known I was going to do this before, so I would have already had this figured out.
Well, tell me a generalized thing you'd like this armor to do, and I can kind of narrow that down. Aside from just give you higher stats.
I know what I would like, but what about you? I mean, do you want it to be more durable? Do you want it to do a specific thing?
I'm trying to look through these. Ooh, what's this? Damn it.
Could go with attribute bonus.
Could do that.
Ooh.
What Rocket took. Could increase any of your attributes by +2 as long as you're wearing the piece of armor, which you could use to, say, for example, increase your power and increase your spell damage.
Oh, that would be fantastic for you. I mean, your fireball does tons of damage, just wipe out foes at a single hit most of the time.
True that.
That would be the most best thing to use against a certain character. And he'd be mega dead.
Okay, here's question. Says tier 1 properties status heal. Can I apply that to an armor? And I'm guessing that would just heal me every turn or something?
Let's see here. Find it. Status heal. No, that's food or consumables.
God damn it. Most of my abilities do damage to myself, so it'd be nice to have ways of
Dealing more damage.
Okay, yeah, let's just go with attribute bonus and yeah, let's just
Attribute
increase.
bonus activated.
Actually,
what
is it? Avoidance is determined by how?
Avoidance. Give me just a second here. Your avoidance is 1/4 of your dex score plus the bonus granted by your job. So if you were to increase your dex score, that would Theory increase your avoidance, making you harder to hit.
I think that's one of the do's. One of the do's. The things. Damn the
Yeah, let's just do it.
over me.
Let's just do it to power.
All right.
Hmm.
All right.
One of the things
so,
I should do is maybe
so
find a job.
So as it so happens, the blacksmith happens to have a suit of that lying around. He comes rolling it out on the sort of mannequin type setup. It's this very intense looking suit of armor. It's thicker than your armor currently by a noticeable margin. And it has a sort of imposing look to it.
Imposing.
Yeah. He sort of slaps his hand on it. This sucker right here. It'll make you a lot heavier, sure, but I know you're strong enough to move around even in heavy stuff with no issue. So, this thing, he puts his hands on his shoulders, with that extra added weight, every movement you make will carry a lot more punch. If you want to punch someone really hard, the extra weight behind the metal and just the fact that it's fucking metal will give you a lot more bang for your buck.
Sounds like my kind of stuff.
You want it?
All right, that's 150 with that ruby, right?
Yes, that is correct. He holds out his hands, his eyes sort of shimmering a bit at the ruby.
All right, that's a deal. I hand him the ruby and 150 gil along with it.
Kind of giggles. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he puts them away. Sorry, just wondering what I'm gonna spend all that on. Anyways, come on, let me go and get you fitted. So, you are now in possession of a suit of imposing plate armor, with the attribute bonus +2 power associated with it. We'll need to do some recalculation on a couple of your stats, but for now, just to mark, just put +2 next to your power. It grants you an armor score of 12, a magic armor score of 4.
All right, 1 sec. Let me write that down. Imposing what?
Imposing plate mail armor. You can leave out armor if you want. It's called imposing plate mail.
And let's say armor was 10.
Its armor rating is 12.
12.
Its magic armor is 4.
That is awesome. Nice one.
I am going to be a tough motherfucker now.
Your stats essentially just got your armor and magic armor both literally just got doubled.
Cool. Alrighty then. I believe that'll do. And okay, the ruby's gone, and part of my gil is gone. All right.
And now that we've done that, we can cut back over to Alistair, Neothil, and Mika. Here.
Somewhat glad the
There's a
Phantoms
question.
is gonna
Are
be
they
the
still
one
by
closing.
rocket?
They are not still by rocket. You enter the palace and ask around a bit, and you're soon given directions to where to find Mika. She's apparently in one of the infirmaries tending to a couple of wounded soldiers.
Knee.
So hold on a second. Hold on.
No.
Let me set the scene. Neothil.
Sorry.
Neothil. For the last half an hour or so, Mika's been silently tending to the soldiers and every so often gives you some rudimentary instructions like, bring me this, hold that, please be quiet, look at that, that kind of thing. Like she's definitely focused on her work and is clearly really heavily focusing on it, trying not to think about how embarrassed you two both are. And you've just kind of been helping out for the last 30 minutes with her instructions. And you've mostly just been watching her apply rudimentary first aid where needed, and in any more severe cases of which there's only one actively using magic, but most of the time she seems to be conserving her energy and is going with a more literal hands-on approach with applying bandages and first aid and giving water, that kind of thing. There are about 5 guards in here. Most of them look like they'll probably be up and about tomorrow. There's only one who's going to need a few days rest. It's as you're... And this infirmary is mirrored to the one the party was in. So, after about 30 minutes of helping Mika out, the door opens and in walks Alistair. I sweep around and soon land on you. Guys, take it away.
Knee. there you are.
Alice here. Hello.
Oh, I wasn't interrupting anything, was I?
No, nothing.
Alrighty then.
Just Mika and I were tending to some of the wounded. That's all. How are you?
I'm fine, and good to see that you're doing well. Thanatos has requested you to come with me. We're trying to sort out some armor, and we're hoping to sort you out as well.
Can it wait a while? I'm kind of busy.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I'd be waiting outside. Come out when you're
it
ready.
might take a bit longer than that. Is it gil you require, or
Yeah.
then? Oh, register back pocket. How much do you need?
Probably all of it.
Well, not exactly all of it, because we have to pay for the in the inn. So we need to remember the price of the inns.
Actually, no, you don't. Don't forget, you don't
We
have
don't
to
need
pay for the
inn.
in-room.
She has
Yeah, because I have fundaments.
Oh,
Yeah, it's free.
okay. Well, I say all of it at the moment. I mean, how much have you got?
I have 202 gil.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely need all of it.
If you won't mind, then, I surely gives
I'll
you the
give
best
you-
armor we can.
I'll give you 200. I'll keep 2 just for
Just
some water or
Just
something.
keep 2.
Okay.
Anything. I want the change back.
Yes,
And
of
over the gil.
course.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, Nee, and make sure they get you the best armor. I leave you to help your new friend.
Yes, thank you.
Quote unquote friend.
I'm
You
kind
don't
of.
know that yet. Oh, shut up.
I'm kind of disappointed Thanatos isn't the one who went because I know there'd be so much great teasing.
I know. Well, it's
Well,
gonna happen. It's inevitable.
I needed to get fitted.
Let's just say Alizai does not completely know what's going on, but he has a bit of a hunch.
All right.
So,
She was embarrassed enough earlier. I don't need to be there to add more. Besides,
Exactly.
time for that later.
So, is there anything else? That's the gil.
No, that's all, really.
Alright.
So, see you, Nee. We may see you at the inn.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
Bye.
Locations. I forgot they existed.
I take it Alistair is leaving the room.
Yep.
Oh boy, that was awkward.
Ah, my ears.
Ow.
Darkness, your
What?
mic,
Yeah.
your mic's doing the thing again.
Ah, son of a bitch.
With Alistair leaving the room, he kind of scratches the back of the neck. So, where were we?
You were getting me a roll of bandages for this bleeding cut.
Yes, bandages. Over there.
I can do
Get
that.
in.
All right.
Bring me the thing.
He's done it.
Holy shit.
This is adorable.
All right.
He's cute.
I was not expecting this today.
All right. So, Alistair, you're returning to the Sharp Claws.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It takes you a little while to get back there because it is quite a trip. Another half hour or so. But eventually you're returning and you see that Thanatos is already decked out in his sweet new armor, and it's definitely more intimidating now. Looks very well protected.
Whoa. Seems it suits you.
I'll say.
Well, I got the gill. 200 anyway.
And with your
You think it'd be enough?
with your discount, it should be, and a little extra from me. I'd say needs the extra protection.
By the way, she requires a change. She was very strong on that.
I mean, and also how strong I just asked for change.
Well, I'm sure we're not going to use all of it.
All right. Well, We can say for the sake of brevity that however you want to go about the distribution of coin, you're able to acquire a suit of tier 2 armor for Neothil. 1 second, I'm just gonna sneeze. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing that a lot.
So you're able to acquire a suit of tier 2 armor for Neothil, and we can have Tom kind of work out what he wants specifically from that when we're not in the middle of the session.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
should have just waited until the end.
Yeah, when we
to
do that, you're gonna have to bring up the rule book because I don't have it currently.
Not to the end.
All right.
Yeah, we can figure that out at the end of this.
Yeah.
But I
Speak,
hope
yeah.
it's not actually the end.
I mean, we've got like 8 minutes left, so.
Oh.
And unless we want to keep going up until, jibber jabber, but
Yeah, I think it'd probably be best if we start to wrap this up. We can save.
We're
a
heading
cute little.
all heading towards the tavern after this.
indeed.
I mean, didn't you have a date with Mika?
Yeah.
Semi-date, I say.
All
Where
right.
she wants to go.
All right. Well, so yeah, what are you guys doing now?
Probably all meet up at the inn.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess we'll just head back.
We're
to the
doing
inn.
that. What happens when Mika finishes with the whole bandaging shtick?
Oh well, y'all are just doing more wounds for a while, and she's still definitely clearly focused on the work.
I mean, I'm helping her until that's done. What happens after it's finished?
Give
Well-
it time. Don't rush it.
Well, eventually, after about another couple hours, she's done tending to the wounded. Some of the guards are able to hobble off back to their own personal homes to rest for the remainder of the evening. The guard who actually needed magic is gonna have to stay overnight to rest up some and be observed. But aside from that, it seems pretty fine. So once all is said and done, Mika kind of looks out over the infirmary, a tired look on her eye, and just kind of sighs in relief.
That's over.
It was quite a lot of work. Must be fulfilling, saving so many lives.
Yeah, it is.
So, you want to go and relax for a little while, get your minds off things?
Kind of looks sideways at you.
What do you have in mind?
Well, unless you have somewhere in mind, we could maybe go read that book, or...
Uh,
No, not that fast.
he must be patient and wise about this. Only
Right.
then he will have his trophy.
It's not a trophy.
Jesus.
Oh,
Darkness.
Don't say that, otherwise she'll probably punt you through a window.
Yeah. Sorry, I was remembering an old
God.
phrase.
I have some
Seeing you're not
tact.
there, she would be very mad.
Mm.
Mika
Yeah.
kind of gets this kind of her eyes light up at the mention of reading the book, and she says,
Yeah, sure. That sounds nice. We can go do that in the library.
Yeah, sounds fun. I'm very interested to see what you make of it.
Well,
she kind of takes it, gives it a look.
let's go have a look, shall we?
Someone on Discord is messaging me when they should not be.
Say yourself too busy.
Yeah, I just did that.
Yeah, Nee gives an enthusiastic nod. I'm gesturing her to lead the way.
And she does. She leads you over to the library. All right. And Alistair and Thanatos, you guys go to the Whiskers Corner Inn and Tavern.
Yep.
There's plenty of people in there at this hour. It's starting to get on towards the afternoon at this point, so there are a few people in here getting some lunch and getting some drinks if they happen to work morning shifts. Levayan's behind the counter as per usual. Looks up at you two as you walk in. Oh, hello. Where are the others? Seems kind of worried.
Nee's doing her own thing, and Rocket won't be able to come down to join us today.
The bird gonna be alright?
From what I know, she'd be fine. Just wish I did something more.
She took a hard hit.
You all did, from what I heard. I saw you running by through my window. I heard the commotion. was worried you were gonna die. You all looked pretty rough. Rocket looked frantic.
Yeah, it wasn't our brightest hour.
Well, come on in, get some of that cold out. Snow's rough. Round of drinks for you two on the house for me.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. What do you want?
I would usually say water, but is there a non-hot alcoholic drink?
Well, I mean,
Such-
there's water. I also have juice and let's see, yeah, I've got juice.
And
I've got
water.
water. I've got some non-alcoholic cider just lying around.
So nothing that's a warm drink. See.
It's snowing outside. What do you want?
Okay.
I mean, I can put a pot of water to boil over the fireplace, but it'll take a while to prepare.
No. I mean, it's not to give you such trouble. Probably the non-alcoholic cider. I could use a bit of flavor.
Alice here, come on. Have a drink with me. Have some fun.
Sorry. I'm afraid not even all the alcohol in the world will get me out of this. Trust me, this reminds me of the disaster long ago.
If you say so. A whiskey on me, my friend.
And you,
To the
Thanatos?
bartender.
All right, so
Like-
Alistair's getting cider and apparently a whiskey from Thanatos, and Thanatos is getting what for himself on the house?
Well, I mean, that was my statement was
Yeah,
to the bartender, not.
Ah, the whiskey
Oh.
was for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the way you phrased it was that you were getting a drink for Alistair and you'd pay for it. Okay.
Mm.
All right, so
I mean, he already said that he wouldn't take alcohol. So I
all
was-
right, well,
Yep.
all right, well, you got your
Okay.
drinks. You're sipping away.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Have you ever failed your master, Thanatos?
You want the short list or the long?
I meant any that caused him harm at all, those sorts of failures.
Caused him harm? No.
Hmm.
My master was like a mountain.
Huh. Sounds like a pretty tough bastard to deal with.
Oh, trust me, I saw him. We ran smack dab into a behemoth one day. I was scared out of my mind. Threw a fireball at the thing out of just hope it would do something. All it did was make it mad. Next thing I know, here he comes, great sword in hand, and smacks that thing onto its side.
To actually expand on that a bit, what you remember watching your master do is, after smacking it over onto its side, he then gathered dark energies on his greatsword, swung the blade towards the heavens, and you watch just this tear open in reality, where just this darkness could be seen, right? You know, crimsons and dark purples and crackles of eldritch electricity. He lifted up his other hand, which was glowing with purple flames, tightened it into a fist, and jerked it down like he was pulling something. And out of that rip in reality, just a deluge of some dark energy came rushing down like an entire hurricane and windstorm, just a downpour of torrential proportions, all focused into one spot of just pure dark energy that fell onto this behemoth and lasted for a few seconds. And when he ended whatever it was he had done, the behemoth was dead as a doornail, and its skin was dissolving.
That's gonna be a fun boss fight later, inevitably.
What, the behemoth or him?
Whoa.
What makes you think we're gonna fight him?
It just seems inevitable to me.
Yeah, I'd hope not, or we're all fucked.
Master was the student. That's how it usually goes.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you remember that fight going, so context given.
It
That was quite amazing. I wish I did something like that instead of freeze up a bit now and then. You see, yes, we did prevail against a Morball that we went up against. It caught us by surprise. But I thought we could handle it. But obviously, it proved a bit more challenging than I thought. But after the creature was defeated, it fled. My master was in critical condition. I tried to rush him to a white mage as fast as I can, exhausted, to try to heal him up. He lived, and he was grateful for that. But I'm afraid the damage has already set in. He was crippled.
Mustn't blame yourself.
Renzio was one of the greatest masters I ever had the privilege to train with. But he said a phrase to me that stuck with me so even in the most darkest of days, that I must strive to better myself no matter what, prove and learn from my mistakes. For he did teach me the ways of the paladin, patience. But I guess watching my master suffer such horrible hit is where all this rage might have come from. Which I think I now and then depend on it a bit too much to get the job done.
Rage is a part of everybody. I know that more than anybody.
Well, I will try to get the terms of it. Right now, I say we just try to get Rocket back on her feet and try to rethink our strategy. We do go after him.
And we'll get this bastard.
Indeed, we will.
Aren't we the biggest angsty group ever to walk Marasu?
You've all got issues in your backstories. That's what makes interesting characters. Anyway, as you're wrapping up that conversation, talking to each other about your pasts and your masters and whatnot, somewhere back in the palace, while Neothil and Mika are reading in the library that book made by Blue Mage, and it's an interesting read, if kind of dry when it's on the technical side of each chapter. Somewhere lower down in the stables, Rocket's eye flickers on, and that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh,
Rocket lives!
yes!
So, that's where we'll pick up next time, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in only a week. We'll see what happens. It all depends on whether or not Lumina's schedule allows her to join us next time. We were only able to play without her this time because, well, her character was out of commission.
Allowed it.
Yeah, circumstances allowed it. So, with all of that said, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for joining us for this episode of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Ino, and we'll see you next time. So until then, keep listening, people. Bye.
Sure.
Bye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the
Indeed.
awkwardness.
Yeah, this was adorable. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes.
And all the teasing.
All of it to come.